Hey, what's up traders? It's Kati from DesireToTRADE. Last week I showed you a trade with the Bollinger Band. That was a winning trade. Now this week, on Tuesday, I want to show you a losing trade. To show you that I'm not getting only good trade, I'm getting bad trade as well. But I want to show you the lesson I got from it and why that trade isn't so bad after all. So this is the pair I've been taking the trade on. The Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. Basically, I just drew the support and resistance line right now. As you can see, we were at a resistance right here, and this is how I base my trade. So I was looking at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, I didn't see anything, and as you can see, the trade passed, meaning that you're going to see that it didn't work. But I'm just going to go in the 1-hour chart. This is where I took my trade. I'm going to put the Bollinger Band right now. Alright, so as you can see, we had right here at the resistance, we had this break outside the Bollinger Band with the bearish engulfing, right? This is bearish engulfing, pretty significant right here. So pretty significant, which means that on these trades usually you would enter below the low. I put my stop loss above this time, and as you can see, the stop loss was triggered, right? Not long after. I think 2 candlesticks after. This was a really short trade given the fact that it's on a 1-hour chart. But what I want to show you with that trade is that this is a loss, of course, but it's not so bad for a loss. Because of what? Because I have myself a system where I make sure that the trades that are more reliable, I'm going to put more weight to them. I'm going to increase my pushes in size. While the trades that are less reliable, like this one, and I'm going to show you why, I'm going to reduce the position size, meaning I'm going to risk less. If I'm going to risk 2% on a regular trade, I might risk only 1% on that trade. And even this one, I think I risk 0.5% of my account, which is pretty good. Because of the fact that last week I had a winning trade on a different pair, but the same setup. But the other setup I had was more reliable. And I'm going to show you why right now. This setup, as you can see, we'll just go back on the daily chart. So I want to explain it clearly. Okay. So as you can see, this is a resistance line that you can see on the daily chart. But usually when I trade, I want to see the resistance on the weekly chart. As you can see on the weekly chart, there's not much resistance, right? We had one touch. Well, this is not really a good touch. But as you can see, this is not really visible resistance on the weekly chart. Now, the best trade I have usually are the trade where price bounces off the weekly chart, like at this place. If I was taking a trade at this place or at this place, this is really key resistance and support on the weekly chart. This is more reliable and a lot more reliable. Now this here, yeah, we had a touch here, but it's not as significant. See, it's not the extreme point. This is an extreme point. This is an extreme point. This is like within the middle. And of course, here the trade is down, which is a good sign. But I'm more looking at the zones, more specifically. And then the other thing I'm gonna look for also is if you see on the so on the daily chart, we kind of had this move right here, and that's basically the same reason, but the fact that now we're going up, which means that there's sort of a pressure to the upside. If I draw a line, I'm gonna draw, let's say, a ray like this from here. See, we kind of have this trend line right here, meaning that there's kind of bullish pressure until we get to probably this point, meaning that this, as I said, was really between the two zones. It's not as reliable as if it was at the top of a zone, which means that I'm usually going to take less risk on those trades. I'm still going to take them sometimes if they're good, if the setup is good, and I'm just going to reduce my risk. And the last thing is that this trade was entered on a 1-hour chart, right? Usually I'm not going to enter lower than the 4-hour chart for those type of trade only. Those type of trade I'm going to enter only on the 4-hour chart. If I see a setup on the 1-hour chart and it looks good like this setup, I'm gonna again reduce my risk. So I'm not gonna take the full amount of risk. I'm gonna reduce my risk. So you just have to think about this. It's just to show you that you have to think about what risk you're gonna take and what's the probability of your setup working out. This is a lot of stuff I talk about, but you really have to see this for yourself. And depending on the strategy you're going to use, I can tell you a little bit what it is, but it's really going to depend on what you use and how you trade it. So I hope this video was valuable. Just take time to think about it. If you like the video, like it. If you want to subscribe on YouTube, subscribe. Check out DesireToTRADE on YouTube. And check out also DesireToTRADE.com. I have a couple of articles there. I'll publish more strategies and everything. So check this out. Let me know if I can help, and I'll see you soon.